Welcome to the Stir It Up podcast, where our purpose is to encourage, challenge, lift up, and stir up the body of Christ to love and good works. Hello, and welcome to the Stir It Up podcast. I'm Michelle Dowdy.
And I'm Starla Hardman.
And we have a treat today. We have our friends, Stephanie Casper, Joy Sims, and these are the true friends right here, as they've reminded us, because we're going to have some interesting things for you today.
Yes.
So all these beautiful things are on the table. We're going to show you how to make all these things. So we made a batch ahead of time. We're going to show you how to make the batch, make all these things, and we hope you'll enjoy this because it's going to be a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
But wanted to talk about, just before we get into that, if I say the phrase, right at home, make yourself right at home, what do y'all think of? Stephanie?
You could have gone that way.
I'll interject. I think being comfortable.
Being comfortable, yes.
Yeah, think
Welcoming.
of my slippers and my family.
Well, just feeling like I'm at my home. Like, so if I come to your home and you say that, then I feel like you're okay with me grabbing a glass of water or sitting on your couch, and you're giving me permission to do that.
Yeah, make yourself at home.
Comfortable, yeah.
So we were thinking about a funny story in a book that, and also a video from Priscilla Schreier, that when we were going through that book, we kind of did that book as a little Bible study, I Surrender All. And she tells this hilarious story, and y'all look at it on YouTube if you can find it, which I'm sure you can. We pulled it up, but she tells a story about staying in this lady's house at this when she was doing a conference, and it was just this huge, palatial home. It's back in there, winding road takes you back in there. You walk in, it's just this grand entranceway with this huge rug. And so the lady kind of rushes forward, and greets him and everything. And she says, now just make yourself at home. Go around here, but don't walk across this rug, because this is from, like, she goes and she tells about how it's from Persia. I mean, something, like they don't actually walk on the entryway rug.
Yes.
So then every step that they took, there was an elevator to take them upstairs, but it was wood from, like, I don't know, some rare thing, and it had never had a nick in it. So just kind of watch as you get in there, with your suitcases and all that. So they're kind of, they're getting themselves, scrunched up so they don't hurt the elevator. And then even when they get in the room,
she's turning the comforters back, like she's pulling the comforters off the beds. We want you to feel so comfortable in your room, but you're not going to use it.
Right, but don't use that cover right there. So here's another blanket. And then before she left the room, she said, y'all make yourself at home. And then Priscilla said, but she didn't mean that. But she was talking about abiding, and that passage in John 15 where Jesus says, abide with me and I'll abide with you. And, I thought how we have our ultimate home is with our Heavenly Father.
Yes.
Like, oftentimes it said home is where your mother is, like, oh, I'm going home for Christmas or whatever, in some ways that's true, but really home is where our Father is. And Jesus said he's gone to prepare a place for us. And I'd never thought about this until the other day, when I think Lisa Pfeiffer read the scripture about, I go to prepare a place for you. And back in those times, like around a Jewish marriage, the husband would often build on a place, to the existing structure of his father's house. And so that was the illusion that Jesus was making. I go to prepare a place for you, so he's going to prepare a place for his bride, the church. So that was beautiful. So so we have that home with him, but then it also says in verse 23, let me get to that. If anyone loves me, he will keep my word, and my Father will love him, and we will come to him and make our home with him. So not only do we have a home with him, and he wants to make his home with us. And I just thought about, all the the rooms in this house and the closets and the things that are just, you know, not in the shape they need to be in, maybe cluttered, maybe things that should have been thrown out a long time ago. And I thought, you know, about that parallel that like, oh, are there rooms like in my heart that, you know, need to be uncluttered, or those crevices need to be cleaned out to prepare him room. So, you know, as we're going throughout this Advent season, were just some of the things that I was thinking about. So,
we all have those rooms. All of us.
yes.
Well, and I think too, we kind of have to be intentional, you know, about that. We have to. My dad came recently. You know, I did the clean house from top to bottom, and I found cobwebs that I'm sure they had been there, but I was intentional about looking for the dirt and the clutter. You know, and I found those cobwebs, and I got my little extend-a-pole. Joyce was very familiar with those, and I got all that cleaned up. You know, not that they would have ever noticed it, but I noticed it, and I know the Lord sees those things in us as well. And he longs for us to clean those things out.
Well, I think he longs for us to recognize that we have those things because they're there. We're not perfect,
That's
and
right.
he knows that.
When you said intentional, we need to be intentional about surrendering those places,
Yeah, that's right.
finding those places.
So take that trash out.
And make them welcome.
That's
Right, prepare.
Trash day is not just on
Prepare
Thursday.
it. That's right. Get that trash out of there. But y'all, so now that was the serious part. So now we're going to get into the fun part. They're the fun factor. Right? That's why we ask them. So we, you know, we always have to have a little, you know, little serious part too. But so we're going to, like I said, we're going to go over these recipes and that'll be fun. But tell us, for each one of y'all, if I said the perfect holiday meal has to include, what would be that one thing or two things? You can say two things that, like, oh, your family, like if you didn't make it, I know what one of yours is. Like if you did not make this, it wouldn't be Christmas or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you have yours?
Well, I mean, you guys have had my cranberry relish, and
Yeah.
my mom made that for years and years. So, I mean, it's in my home from the beginning of November till, you know, January 1st, like for biscuits and all things. And I think probably corn casserole, which is the simplest thing in the world, but if I don't make it, someone notices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joy, what about you?
Well, growing up, my mom she loved to cook at Christmas time. And so she always made Hello Dolly's, which is those 7-layer cookies. So we always had those. I mean, every Christmas. And she made, she called them wedding cookies, like little shortbread cookies.
Oh,
She
yeah.
never made them any other time during the year,
Oh.
but just the little wedding cookies that's rolled in powdered sugar. With some, and so now at my house, I like so much stuff. I don't know what my family would say, but we always have strawberry pretzel salad. That's something we always just have on holidays. So
So the Hello Dolly's, is that the one with
the graham cracker?
I love that.
and
the
coconut.
coconut.
Yes.
And you just kind of layer it and pour it.
Yeah.
If they leave the coconut off, I'll eat the rest.
Well, I don't like coconut that well, but it's good in those.
Yeah.
But my mom always made it, but it was always
Yeah.
just Christmas. And she had them in little Tupperware containers laying on the table.
Oh,
Okay.
Always.
Okay.
we called them magic cookie bars. That's what
Yeah.
Well, she
my
called them
mom's
Hello
recipe
Dolly's,
was.
but they are magic
Yeah.
cookie bars. I think
Yeah.
they got them out of this little, there used to be this thing that came on Wednesday called the Market Bulletin. And every day, week it had a recipe. And I think the recipe I have from hers is cut out of there.
Yeah. Oh.
So,
Was
good
it ever
memories.
on the Eagle brand?
Yes. It's
On
called
the
magic.
can
It's
or
called
something? I
magic cookie
remember
bars,
reading
like y'all
it on
said.
the Eagle
Okay.
brand.
But I don't know
Yeah.
why she called them Hello
Seen that.
Dolly's.
I've heard her call that
I've heard her
before.
call that.
Yeah.
So my grandmother, if you look through her cookbook, she would have the paper off the Eagle brand milk or the Cool Whip circle that had the recipe on it, you know, so you have to kind of thumb through all that. But for us, this was not the case growing up, but for my kids, they expect hash brown casserole, which it's usually either mashed potatoes or sweet potato casserole, which I make sweet potato, but I dare not forget the hash brown casserole. I did that last year. I shared it on a podcast, and they were all just
The earth
Devastated.
the earth shook because I didn't. And then these cornflake candies. So that was something my mom always had. So we knew at Thanksgiving that we were going to have cornflake candy and at Christmas. So my kids don't think it's Thanksgiving or Christmas until there's been a tin of cornflake candy sitting out. And Pawpaw even is that way now.
Yeah.
So he likes that.
Well, for us, and this will be unusual, y'all probably have never even had this, but Mark's mother always made oyster pie. Have y'all ever had an oyster pie? It's just fresh oysters, and you put heavy cream and crushed up crackers, and it's just, y'all, if you like the taste of oysters.
Is it a pie shell or is it?
No.
It's just like a casserole almost.
Yeah,
Okay.
you just pour it all in there, and somehow or another, it is the most delicious thing. Now, Graham and I are the ones that like it. They don't like it, but to me, his mother always made that, and it's like, geez, that's the only time she made it was Christmas. Okay, so anything else on that? Anybody got?
I would just add my potatoes. I love mashed potatoes, but like everywhere we go, whether it's my sisters or my in-laws, like I know potatoes is what I'm making. It's always potatoes, and my brother-in-law thinks they just have butter in them, and they're much more complicated.
Your mashed potatoes?
Yes. My mashed
potatoes.
I don't. It's actually cream cheese and tons of butter, and there's a whole thing. But they're good, and I pretty much only do them at holidays because they're involved. But whichever house or all the houses, as it was this time, it was 3 or 4 batches this year.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
Of potatoes.
It is.
And I think that's my least favorite thing to do in the kitchen.
Peeled potatoes.
Peeled potatoes.
It takes so long.
I just can't stand
No,
it.
sweet potatoes you can throw them in the microwave and then just peel them
or
up.
oven or whatever. But
That's
those
a good tip.
baked potatoes, oh my goodness, or
Yeah.
peeling those for mashed, because I make homemade mashed potatoes too a lot.
I got
like
taught
you're
involved
saying.
this last time. It was too many.
I
to
guess
peel.
so. 3 or 4 batches. Oh my word!
Is involved your word of the day?
And I
Very.
don't kind of peel like my mom and dad did. I cut off half the potato.
Yeah.
My dad was a cook
I feel like
too.
you're wasting
So he was
that,
like,
but it is
"You're
easier to
wasting
do
so much."
Well, sort of along those lines, but I was thinking about for people just any kind of organizational tip, and I'll start, and y'all can think of something if you have anything. But I think what I've started doing, like if I know I'm having a get together or something, like even the day before, even a couple of days before, I might get everything out and start putting it in little clumps. Like if I'm gonna make a green bean casserole, I'm gonna get pan out. I'm gonna get all the things that I need as much as I can with that. If I need the recipe, I'm gonna put that. Like I'm just gonna put everything right there.
That way you don't get in the middle of it and realize you forgot an ingredient.
Because that's kind of the hardest thing about cook to me, or it can get the most chaotic if you're reaching for this and that, but like if everything's ready and you just take it and you just put everything together, then it's easier. So
I agree.
Cooking is just as much planning as
Yes.
it is actually physically doing the cooking. It's so much planning.
When you get married, no one ever, your mom doesn't share with you that every day of your life, someone's going to ask you what's for dinner. Every day of your life. And no one prepares you for that.
Yes. Yeah, Karis and I had that conversation recently. She said Andrew will grill burgers or something, but she said it's always on me to think about, what are we having for dinner? I said yes, and it will be the rest of your life.
Yeah, and I love the crock pot. Joy loves the crock pot.
Right.
And I was told recently by my son and my niece that this generation they hate on the crock pot is what they said.
what?
Really?
And I'm like, but you like what's in the crock pot. And once we started to explain, when you go to work and you come home and it's done, I think they just don't understand the crock pot.
They haven't had to cook.
They think
They-
it's a mystery.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Right.
They've not been responsible for feeding people.
So they're all getting crock pots for Christmas.
So is that your tip, organizational tip?
Well, yes, and I have this old cookbook that my mom gave me called Fix It and Forget It.
I had that.
And it's so good, and it's everything from candy to pies to barbecue chicken. It's anything you can think of to cook in the crock pot. It's the best.
What about y'all? Any little tip? Because y'all are both good organizational people. I mean, I think Y'all are too.
I mean, this may not be great. Well, me and my mother-in-law, she always makes the dressing, and so we get together like 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, and we come together and we make the dressing together, and then we freeze it.
Make it
And so that's really nice
Yeah.
because that takes a lot of
Yeah.
time. And then I've learned how to make it more because I've watched her
Yeah.
make it.
Yeah.
Because she does make good dressing.
That is a good thing.
So-
Is freezing ahead. I don't know if you
Like
like
not
the
you
one
can't do
doing the big
everything
meal.
like that.
Yeah.
But something like that.
Yeah.
you
But
can.
like sweet potatoes is a good thing to make and freeze ahead.
You can do party potatoes ahead too.
Mm,
I've done that.
yeah,
I mean, I call mine party potatoes. Yours, it kind of sounds like my recipe.
maybe.
But I've made it and frozen.
Yeah.
And then just takes a while. You just have to put it in the refrigerator.
Anything you can do ahead.
Mhm.
Anything.
And I usually have some kind of appetizer because, you know, they get there and they just
Yes.
converge and just hang out in the kitchen, you know, and of course then we've got babies everywhere and they always, somebody wants a snack. So I always have some type of charcuterie board and I do it before and have it in the refrigerator outside, just pull it out. So it's got the grapes and cheese, that something easy they can do. But like Joy, my mother-in-law and my mom always made the dressing. Well, they're both with the Lord, and they can't whisper down to me how to make this dressing, and so I've had to learn. But one tip that I did that I learned the hard way is I used chicken broth from the actual can or whatever. What do you call that? The box.
Box.
The
Yeah.
box.
Yeah. Or can.
And it's not the same. As
You have to
cooking a
boil.
hen.
You have to boil your. I
And
mean, cook
get-
your chicken.
Or, you know,
That's what-
whatever, your chicken
Yeah,
or your hen or whatever. But it's just not
whole
the same.
thing.
And I learned that the first year I did it. And I'm pretty close to what we don't like what we call junk in ours. So I put it, but it's blended so fine. Nobody crunches anything.
That's what.
So, and Miss Harvin's was the same way. My mom would make one with junk and one very, you know, really,
Are
really.
you calling the vegetables?
You're talking celery.
No, I will.
Celery,
It's the
yeah.
texture
Yeah.
stuff. She
All
don't like
the
coconut.
other
It's the
things.
texture. Yeah.
Yeah, the crunch is not for me. So I do the same now, but that is something I learned that you really can't take that shortcut. It's just not the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
We do that whole charcuterie thing too when we go to my sister's, and we had something different this year. You guys heard of Neiman Marcus dip? You ever heard of that? It
I've
was
seen a lot of
amazing.
Neiman Marcus
So
this
good.
or that.
Yeah,
You know,
It's
everything.
so good. I mean,
Yeah.
it's literally shredded cheese and like sharp cheddar, scallions, and bacon, and a little bit of mayonnaise, and it's really
Sounds
good.
good.
Yeah, it's really good.
That does sound good. The ooey gooey bars, which we call that, I originally heard them called Neiman Marcus bars
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Yeah.
years ago.
Okay. Well, should we head into the kitchen? The long walk into the kitchen is just like 2 feet behind us. It's a small area, but we're going to do our best, y'all. And so this might be, if you're just listening, we'll try to make it where, you know, you'll know what we're doing, but this might be one you definitely want to listen to on YouTube,
watch on
or
YouTube.
watch on Spotify, either
Yes.
one. So,
We're going to share with you some of
Okay.
our favorite dishes.
all right, here we go. Well, here we go. We're going to make first a hummingbird cake. So, have y'all ever had hummingbird cake?
Yes.
Yeah. So, it's really just like, sort of like glorified banana bread to me, you know. But we're going to start out
Glorified.
glorified, yes, because it really is almost, it's a lot the same except for pineapple. So Joy gave me these cute little measuring cups for my birthday. So I'm going to use these little nesting cups. Okay, so what, Joy?
I just told her when my birthday was. I mean, I know she knows, but I was reminding her.
So we're going to have 2 cups of flour. 1 cup. Y'all are so quiet.
We're learning.
2 cups. Okay, that wasn't
quiet.
That wasn't quiet, was it? I don't know.
There
It's
it
a
is.
lot of pressure to do this while people are watching.
I know, you're doing good.
So, all right, so I am gonna, oh man, I'm stepping over in front of this camera. Okay, y'all just deal with it. Mark. So then 2 cups of sugar. Well, I still have to do it like this, I think. 2 cups of sugar.
Michelle, do you make a lot of homemade cakes? I know you do your pound pound cakes, your caramel,
you know,
and your.
Not a whole lot. I mean, just around the holidays. I mean, I don't make people's birthday cakes or anything.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Okay, and then you need 2 bananas mashed. So we're gonna mash those up. I've already peeled them. I'm just gonna mash them up. I hope that's in the shot here. Y'all, this is all new to us, like doing this, actually doing the recipe. But, you know, we wanted to do this cooking element, or recipe element, just to, you know, we think it's fun to get new recipes and see what other people are doing. So we thought, well, we'll do this for our Christmas episodes, and y'all can see some of the things that we make at Christmas time. So this is always something I love to make at Christmas time. And I think it comes from when Mark's sister used to get hummingbird cake from Harry's in Atlanta. And do you remember that? And she would always bring it, and I always loved that. Now this is, you know, it doesn't quite taste like that. So we're just gonna add the bananas in, but it is really close and it's good. 1/4 cup of nuts. So I'm using walnuts. You can use pecans if you like that, but I just kind of think, walnuts are the best. Y'all like walnuts?
I do.
So there they go. All right, and 3/4 of a cup of vegetable oil. Now I've been using avocado oil in my recipes, so just because it seems to be a little bit healthier, and I don't really notice a difference in the consistency or anything. So I'm gonna do 3 of these instead of getting another measuring cup out. 1, 2, 3.
Well, that'll be moist.
Yes.
Very. Be good.
All right, and then we're going to need crushed pineapple. So this is only about 8 ounces. I just kind of eyeballed it because I had a big can.
That come in, okay, yeah, one of the cans.
So drained, you're going to need to drain that. And then 3 eggs. So we'll just add our eggs. 1.
That's pretty good.
I know. Very good.
Yesterday, I cooked some deviled eggs, and when I cut them open, 2 of them were double yolks
Oh.
from our chickens.
Really?
We've never had double yolks from our
Wow.
chickens.
Well, they're being productive.
It's Christmas.
It's
They're
Christmas.
feeling
Tis the
very
season.
yes, generous. They wanted to surprise you and give you presents.
We're going to need some vanilla extract. Do y'all always put in extra? I do.
I do, but then I have to smell it, although I know what it smells like. It smells
It's
so
always so, it smells
I
so
just
good.
put in a little bit of extra.
It's
So
just
Put it
yeah.
in there.
My mom used to take the cow.
Oh, I did too.
yeah.
You know, if
do
it's not
that.
that small bottle though.
Right.
So then I have my dry ingredients, a half a teaspoon cinnamon, a teaspoon of baking soda, and a teaspoon of salt. So I already got those mixed together, and we'll just dump those in here. We'll do it like those cooking videos where they say, I'm going in with whatever. That's sort of my funny phrase. Now I'm going in
You're going
with
in.
vanilla or whatever.
Going in.
Going in.
So you don't have to use a mixer for it.
You don't. Now you can if you want to, but to me it's, like I said, it's more like a bread. And so it's almost like it's got so much fruit in it that you don't really have to.
It doesn't have to be real
it
smooth or
doesn't-
anything.
right.
You want
Yeah,
it to be kind of lumpy and.
It's kind of chunky anyhow. So I just stir it up real good, usually like this. But you probably would want to just use a hand mixer if you mixed it. So, and not, put it in the
Big stand mixer.
Yeah. So, I'll go ahead and say too, while I'm mixing this up, I'll probably just, the cream cheese icing recipe, I'm just going to add it. And I've got an example here, but like the finished product. But with this cake, you can put any kind of icing you want. It doesn't have to be cream cheese. It can be a glaze, or you can even just leave it like this. Like if you don't want the sweetness of the icing, you can do that. And But I'll put that cream cheese, it's just a basic cream cheese.
Have you ever made that in a loaf, or have you always made it as a cake?
I've just always made it as a cake, but yeah, you could
Yes,
probably divide it as loaves and do it that way. It should be a little bit of a twist.
And my mom made in layers,
Mm-hmm.
not in
Yeah.
a two-pan.
So, but it's good because it's not so sweet, like if you want a cake that's not, like birthday cake, kind of sweet. I guess because it's just got that fruit in there. So, kind of greased and floured pan. Now, y'all, this pan is as old as dirt. I think it was my grandmother's. And
Those are the best kind.
the other cake I actually made, I had a fail. Now, we're going to put a picture of that because I thought we can make a point of that too, that things don't always go as you plan.
I could have brought several pictures.
So anyway, I'm just going to pour this right in. But I made it in a pretty bundt pan, and it stuck to it twice. Now the second time it wasn't as bad because I was making sure I really greased it good. But I thought, okay, I'm just going to use the ugly pan, and y'all can just see. This is
Never
what I
works
with.
best. That's right. It's all about what works best.
All right. So this is going to go in the oven at 350 for about 50 minutes. And then when it comes out, we'll show you all these finished products at the end. But this is a great recipe just for this time of year. And so that is your hummingbird cake.
How long do you cook that for?
50 minutes.
50
Did I not say
minutes.
that? Okay, 50 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Today we're going to make some overnight French toast. So this is what my family likes to make, or I make it for my family when we get up on Christmas Eve. We do it on Christmas Eve.
Okay.
And so I always try to do breakfast on Christmas Eve. So it's very simple. My recipe's on my phone, so I may have to pick up my phone. But you melt a stick of butter. And so I have a tip for melting butter. If you are melting a whole stick and you do not take the paper off of it, it will not splatter in your microwave. You don't have to cover it up.
It's a good tip. And is it salted or unsalted butter?
This is salted.
Salted butter, okay.
I'm not much into unsalted butter.
Okay.
I like salt. Okay, so you pour a stick of butter just straight into your 9x13 pie dish, which is pretty simple. So then I just kind of make sure it's all around. You could even melt your butter in your dish while you were getting all the other stuff up.
Yeah.
But you just make it the night before, put it in the refrigerator, which is really nice. Then you take Texas toast, and it takes 12 pieces. So you just lay the toast straight down in the butter. You just kind of squeeze it in your dish, and it'll fit 12 pieces. So Texas toast is hard to find. Publix does not have it. You can get it at Kroger or you can get it at Walmart. I have used just that extra thick bread that you can, the artesian bread.
Yeah.
So you put half of your bread down, you put 6 pieces down, and then I took a cup of brown sugar, and I also took a teaspoon of cinnamon, and I mixed it up together. And so then you take half of this mixture, and you just sprinkle it over your toast.
And I love stuff you can make the night before, like for Christmas, so you're not having to do a lot in the kitchen. I think people are always looking for Christmas, like Christmas morning kind of things, and they can do this a little bit different.
Right. And we used to do it on Christmas Eve instead of Christmas morning, because Christmas morning time we open presents, and then usually my family comes by lunchtime. We have lunch, so we don't really have we don't want to eat a big meal. So you sprinkle like half of it on, and then you just put your other 6 pieces of Texas toast. You'll actually have the ones from Walmart. You actually have extra pieces left over.
And where did you get this recipe, or how long have you been doing it?
I've probably done it 4 or 5 years, but I got it off just looking on the Facebook or internet. So that's why it's on my phone.
Do y'all save a lot of recipes? Like if you see it, or
Yeah.
save it? I do too.
It's on my, I even have a folder on my pictures.
Just click
Same.
and have a gazillion pictures. Like most of my pictures, I think, are recipes.
I know.
But I only like the ones that are in cook mode that you can keep it on sometimes you can do that little thing and keep it on cook mode so you don't have to keep
I don't
bringing
know
your
what you're
phone up.
talking
I
about.
don't think I know that
I
either.
don't know that
Have you
trick.
done that? So I'll show you on a recipe. So there's a little, most of them have a little thing that says cook mode on your recipe, on your
Okay.
phone. And if you click that, the screen doesn't go dark. So you can keep looking at your recipe.
Just not
without-
having to refresh
Yes,
or what.
right.
Okay.
Oh, because
Yeah.
mine's already gone dark. That would be good. But you take 5 eggs, and so I've already broke my eggs. And I'll just kind of whisk my eggs together with a fork. And then you need to put a teaspoon of vanilla with your eggs, and then also put a cup and a half of milk.
So while Joy's doing that, we'll just say a word about our apron. So we have stir it up, Hebrews 10:24. Let us consider how to stir up one another to love and good works. So that's the name of our podcast, and so everybody has a stirred up apron today as their
Yes.
door prize.
They're valiant effort to get in the midst of all of our stuff.
So anyway, hopefully we'll enjoy these, and I think we do have a store coming soon with some items you may like. So
That's
we want to have some aprons in there. There'll be some iteration of these. So.
So I just poured my milk and my vanilla and my eggs. And then you just pour it. I do better pouring with my right hand. You just pour it straight over the toast.
Soak up all that goodness.
And then when I get all this poured on, I will finish topping it with the brown sugar and cinnamon. Okay. And that is all you do. So then I cover it up with aluminum foil. And I spray my aluminum foil a little bit because you do cook it with aluminum foil. And then you're supposed to sit it out like 30 minutes before you start to cook it, but I sometimes forget that. It won't mess it up if you do. Don't sit it out. It might just take a little longer to cook. And so then I cook it with aluminum foil on for like 35 to 45 minutes on 350. And then the last 15 minutes I take the aluminum foil off and let it kind of brown up. And that's all. You can sprinkle powdered sugar on it when it's over or when it's done. And then you eat it with, I like it with maple syrup. And that is our overnight French toast that you've got ready for the next morning. Very
I'm gonna
simple.
try that. I love
Yes,
that.
I think I'll do
goodness.
that. So, and then you just do, like you could do fruit or
Just have
syrup,
anything
stuff
with
like
it.
that. Of
Because
course,
it's already
so sweet.
It's already sweet,
Yeah.
but I mean,
Already
sweeter the better
enough.
for me.
Yeah,
So,
right.
and that's it.
That's awesome.
Wow.
You know
Great.
what? Let's bring your finished product over
Okay.
here and show everybody.
Let's eat
I
your
probably
finished
should-
product.
Yeah, like I said, work in progress.
Bring
But
the
here
syrup.
is the
Oh,
That's
finished
what
that
it looks
looks
like
product.
when it's cooked.
Yeah, and
And I like it really crispy.
Yeah, that looks
So
great.
I like the edges. So
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
And I'm gonna bring this. This is the hummingbird cake, finished and frosted in the pretty pan, but the other one's gonna look a little bit different.
Yeah.
So that was just. But anyway, just wanted y'all to see that
finished
final
product,
thing.
wow.
Yeah. So awesome.
That's a great recipe.
Thank you for joining us today. May the grace of the Lord Jesus Christ and the love of God and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with you all.